Virgil was almost crazy with worry about Phoebe, but it had taken forever for him to extricate himself from the insurance company despite his resignation. They begged him to stay and told him he could have all the time off he needed. Virgil had decided he didn't want to be like them one day, cold-hearted and greedy. All he wanted right now was to get Phoebe back and make sure she was all right. He'd worry about working another time. He had traveled to Denver by train and was riding the stage to Golden City. There were other passengers, 2 other men, and a fancy-dressed woman who wanted to chat him up. She asked him all sorts of questions. He didn't answer her, then finally said, "I'm going to Golden City to get my wife and bring her home." The woman huffed. "You don't have to be mean about it," she said, and then seemed to have forgotten he was there when she started talking to one of the other passengers, who seemed more interested in conversation than he was. Virgil stared out the windows, watching the scenery change, the mountains that loomed in the distance, and the foothills that looked like he could almost reach out and touch them. Suddenly, he heard gunshots. At the same time the gunshots started, the stage lurched and began moving faster. The man next to him turned to look out the back window and said, "It's bandits. They're coming to rob the stage." This was irritating. He wanted nothing to get in his way of finding his wife. Virgil opened the door of the stage and pulled himself out, hanging by his fingers as the horses careened down the road as fast as they could. Just as a bandit shot a driver but didn't kill him, he pulled himself up onto the roof of the coach. He fell onto the roof beside the wounded man. Virgil took the man's rifle and laid down on his stomach, facing the 3 shooters who were chasing them. He cocked the rifle and aimed, then pulled the trigger. The man on the left fell off his horse, 1 down. He did it again. The center man fell back, then slowly slid off the horse onto the road. 2 down. Then he shot 1 more time. The 3rd man jerked from the impact, then leaned forward dead as his horse slowed. 3 down. The shooting stopped, and the bodies of the bandits lay on the side of the road. The key driver slowed, then stopped the horses. Virgil was still on his stomach with his head in his arms when a man said, "Where'd you learn to shoot like that, city slicker?" "I belong to the New York City Gun Club. I've been shooting since I was a boy." He looked out toward where the bandits had been. These fellows weren't as difficult to shoot as a clay pigeon is with a shotgun. "Well, we sure are glad you were riding with us," the driver said. Virgil got up and looked at the man who had a gunshot wound. He would be fine if they could take him to a doctor right away. The passengers got out of the coach, their legs shaky. His legs were shaky too, but he wanted to get on with it. "The young man here shot the robbers," the driver told them. "Come on, get back in the coach. We got to get to Golden City to tell the sheriff what happened, and we got to get Henry to the dock." They put Henry in the coach with the passengers. Virgil spent the rest of the trip riding on top and talking to the driver. He liked the driver, whose name was Bill. Riding up here was much more enjoyable than listening to that woman talking away in his ear and the other 2 men snoring.